Hi, I'm Becky Annunzio, and this presentation is Empowering Parents, Enhancing Athlete Performance Through Mental Skills Support. This presentation aims to empower parents by providing insights on how to enhance their athletes' performance via mental skills support. We will explore the impact of parental involvement and the benefits of integrating mental training into athletes' routines. Topics that will be covered in this presentation are mental resilience, self-confidence, self-talk, focus, and goal setting. Parents play a pivotal role in shaping an athlete's mental fortitude and overall well-being. We will discuss strategies for parents to foster a positive mental environment and offer unwavering support. There's some books that might be really helpful for parents who are raising a young athlete. The pictures are inserted to the right. Parenting Young Athletes, Developing Champions, The Sports Parent Solution, Transforming Parents from Obstacles to Allies, and Raising Empowered Athletes. All of these are really great reads. They can be found on Amazon for fairly affordable prices, and it might be a really great step for a parent to read on how to best help their athlete through developing their sports skills as well as developing their mental skills. Building athlete resilience. So what is resilience? An easier way to look at it, resilience, is mental toughness. There's a link here that you could click on and watch a video about the power of the mind and how important and strong the mind is. Most coaches consider sports to be at least 50% mental when competing against an opponent of similar ability. And certain sports, for example, golf, tennis, figure skating, are consistently viewed as 80 to 90% mental. This is according to Weinberg and Gold. And so it just goes to show how important it is to build mental toughness and mental strength for athletes to be able to cope and to ensure that they can best succeed in their sport. So this is a great YouTube video to watch about building athlete resilience. And so some keys to promoting resilience in youth are resilience is a key attribute for athlete success. We will explore how parents can instill and build resiliency skills in their children, thus enabling them to overcome setbacks and thrive in the face of adversity. So some things that you can do as a parent are you could just be supportive instead of getting down on them because they're already down on themselves. Instead be supportive and encouraging, provide encouragement, encourage them to try different things, encourage them to work as hard as they can, encourage them to potentially try skills that might be a little bit difficult for them, help them build coping skills, listen and communicate. So have conversations with them about their sport, about their fears, about what's troubling them, about their obstacles. But it's mostly important to listen to them and to hear their fears and what their concerns are. They may not need you to solve their problems. They may just need someone to listen. So a really great way to open communication with anyone really is, are you coming to me to help you solve a problem? Are you coming to me because you just need to talk to someone? If they're coming to you for problem solving, then you can brainstorm together on how to solve problems. If they're coming to you just to vent, it's important then that you don't try to overstep and solve problems for them. Instead, you just listen. They just needed an ear. Set clear expectations. Help them to achieve their goals, whatever that might be. If they write down their goals and set some goals, help them. Does that mean that you need to drive them earlier to practice so they can get some cardio in for 30 minutes before practice starts? Might their goal be that they need to come home after practice, and once they finish dinner and their homework, they want to take another 50 shots out in the backyard? Help them achieve those goals. Be present. Be present in the conversations, be present in the car rides, which is an opportunity to converse. Show up to games. If practices are open and you get to watch, show up to those as well. And then encourage their feelings. If they're feeling frustrated, that's okay. Don't stifle those feelings. Those feelings are important and they need to work through those feelings. Another important mental skill is self-confidence. Parents who provide consistent emotional support and encouragement for their children's efforts and achievements contribute to the development of a strong self of efficacy and self-confidence. This is based off of the thoughts and ideas of Bandura, and it was cited in Sholahati and others in 2023. This is a great link that you can watch on YouTube. So some tools to help build confidence in young athletes. The overall idea is that you're going to create confidence building statement list. So work with your athlete, work with your young person to create some statements about themselves. Revisit it often and repeat it to reinforce it. So read it a couple times a week. Sit down with them. Practice visualization. So performing well and having fun. Those are the things that they should visualize, right? And so work with them to practice that. Create a list of strengths. Sit with them. Maybe they don't see some of the strengths that you see. And so it's helpful if they have an outside perspective to help them create their list of strengths. Repeat it and revise throughout the season, right? As they develop new strengths and new skills, add those to the list. And then write a confidence resume. So, similar to writing a resume for work, have them talk about the teams that they've been on, the roles that they played within those teams, list their reasons to be confident, meaning I achieved this in such and such a match or game. And then have them read that daily to reinforce all of the things that they have to be confident about. This is a website that you can, at the bottom here, you can click this link to go to a website that helps you develop a mentally tough kid. That might be a really great tool for a parent to use. So an additional skill that we would like to build in our young athletes is self-talk. So what does your athlete think about themselves? And what are they saying to themselves? This is a great video here, Sports Players Use Self-Talk, about how athletes talk to themselves. It's a bunch of little snippets. It's not as intense, but you can hear what the things that athletes are saying to themselves when they're mic'd up on and off the court, on the sidelines. That might be a really fun thing for you to watch, but also it might be really great to watch with your young athlete so they can see these are the things that professionals are doing, the elitist of the elite athletes. And so how can we help build self-talk with our young players, right? Interrupt negative self-talk. Help talk about their anxieties and normalize those feelings. Everyone's anxious about things. You're anxious about tasks at work. You might be anxious about your performances, their friends, their teammates. So normalize those feelings. Help build their confidence, which we talked about on the previous slide. Remind them there's no such thing as perfect. Even professional athletes are not perfect. Michael Jordan was cut from his basketball team. Like, nobody is perfect, and they're no different. And so they need to stop striving for perfection and instead strive for improvement and skill building. Address their fears. What are they afraid of, right? Are they afraid of injury? Are they afraid of letting their team down? Are they afraid of disappointing their coaches? So address their fears and talk through their fears with them. And then encourage self-awareness about negative self-talk. It's important for them to recognize in the moments when they're alone or on the sideline or in a match, when they're getting into this negative self-talk. So they need to be self-aware about that so they can interrupt it themselves. And then foster positive self-talk. Express your belief in them, point out their strengths, try to center their focus, right? Teach calming methods, so some sort of meditation or mindfulness or breathing techniques could be really helpful in that. And then program affirmations into their mind. So instead of you pointing out negatives or you addressing negatives in the coach or you addressing negatives in other teammates. Always look for the positive and only share the positive. Continue to speak positivities into them after a practice, after a game. Point out all the things that they did well and all the ways that they were great and successful. And then they'll start to internalize those, and then they'll start speaking them to themselves. An additional skill that's really important for athletes to build is athlete focus. Suppressing or ignoring negative experiences does not improve athlete focus. Rather, it does the opposite and contributes to declined performance. A better approach is to practice mindfulness. Bring attention to the moment, focusing on controlling anxiety and stress, as cited by Goodman. So what is mindfulness? Take a look at this video. It's a really great video that explains exactly what mindfulness is and gives a better understanding on how to be mindful and how to practice mindfulness. So ways to teach your athlete mindfulness. By teaching children meditation and mindfulness skills, we help them increase their well-being and enable them to meet the stresses of the world with presence, self-compassion, and openness. This link here, J.J. McCarthy, first round draft pick in this last draft, talks about mindfulness and how he uses it. And so we continue to see these elite athletes talking about these mental skills that are so important in all of these videos and links that are in this presentation, which just reinforces the importance of mental skills as opposed to physical and performance skills. Want to help your child learn to be mindful, increase focus? Check out the link for a guide on how to teach mindfulness to children. So Mindful Healthy Mind, Healthy Life is a guide which will walk you through how to teaching mindfulness to children and the steps on how for them to acquire that skill. Okay, and the last skill we're going to talk about that athletes should acquire are being able to set goals. And so this link here has the golden rules of goal setting. So this is a great resource if you'd like to look through that. But ways that you can help your child is ask your child to brainstorm what they'd like to improve, right? So talk about these things at dinner, driving to and from practice or school, and ask them to think about shorter term goals, so smaller progress goals, and then outcome goals. So in the end, what would they like to see? You know, maybe that's at the end of the season. And so have them think about all these little goals that they'd like to set, whether it's improving their serve, which would be just a progress goal, to making starting five, which might be an outcome goal. Help them set SMART goals, right? So specific, what specifically are they looking to do? If they're trying to improve their serve, then maybe they're looking to get 7 of 10 serves in a row, or 7 out of 10 in. And so they would work on that progress to improve their accuracy in serving. It should be measurable. So 7 out of 10 would be very measurable. Making the starting 5 would be very measurable. They should be achievable and realistic, which kind of go hand in hand. It wouldn't make sense for them to be starting 5 of the Bulls if they're in 8th grade, right? That's not realistic, nor is it achievable. But making starting 5 for their 8th grade basketball team would absolutely be achievable and realistic if they work hard enough. And then there should be some sort of time sensitivity, or they should be time bound. When will this goal be achieved by? Is this an end of season goal where they would like to see that they are starting at least 3 times out of 5 times during the week? Or is this more of a progress goal, a shorter goal where, you know, by the first game of the season or by the next game, I'd like to be able to make 70% of my free throws during the game. Have them write them down to make them more concrete. That way they can look at them, they can remind themselves of what their goals are. Make sure they set an action plan, right? What exactly do they need to do and how will it be accomplished? If they're looking to improve their free throw percentage, then they probably need to shoot more free throws. And so maybe coach doesn't offer this amount of time during practice, but They could accomplish it by going to the park and shooting 100 free throws a day, or if you've got a hoop in your driveway or your backyard, they could, after dinner and they finish their homework, they could go out and shoot 100 free throws. They should revisit and revise it if they need to often. Modify it when necessary. Have we found that the goal is way too hard and it's just not something that's going to be achieved? Then we can modify that and make it easier, and there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe it's too easy. Maybe they've crushed their goal. Let's make it more difficult and challenge ourselves to grow as an athlete. Encourage them not to quit, right? So encourage and support them for success. Talk about it and help them traverse the obstacles. Help them come up with solutions. Maybe it requires you to go out and shoot free throws with them. Maybe you need to drive them to practice. Maybe if they're looking to improve their pitching, it might require you getting them a pitching coach, right? If these are things that are within your power and within your means, then help them traverse their obstacles by increasing your time with them or increasing, training opportunities. And then reward successes, right? Celebrate with your athlete. Have your athlete choose the reward. And they should set this at the beginning, right? When they set their SMART goal, ask them, what are you going to do when you're successful? And then help them to reward that. Maybe they're going to want a new pair of cleats. Maybe they just want to go out for ice cream. Maybe they want a day off of talking about and thinking about sport, right? So what's their reward going to be? And so, like, to wrap it up, right? This is a great video, the critical do's and don'ts of parenting athletes, the how-to parent athletes, the ultimate guide. So this is a wonderful video to watch. And in conclusion, helping your athlete develop mental skills will not only optimize performance, but they will also learn valuable life skills. All of the things we talked about are skills that can be used in school, in educational settings, in work settings, communication skills between people, right? So they're just life skills. Being a supportive parent is more than sitting in the stands. It is helping your athlete develop critical skills to succeed, not only on the court or field, but in life. So help foster mental toughness and resilience. Actively work on confidence building, promote positive self-talk, enhance focus through mindfulness, and encourage goal setting to improve motivation, skill, and focus. I thank you for listening to my presentation. There's a few references here. All of these would be great if you'd like to watch the videos or if you need some articles in order to support ideas or to get additional information. The references are great tools and resources that could help you be the best parent and athlete supporter you can be. Thank you and have a great day.